Today on Muni-Cast, we are discussing a program from the Saskatchewan Science Centre that was a key moment for Saskatchewan's youth at this year's 2026 SUMA Convention. Welcome to Season 10 of MuniCast.
I grew up in a small town. I'm small town at heart. I moved to the city, but deep down I've not gone that far. No matter where my boots take me, I grew up in a small town and I still got one foot on Main Street.
MuniCast is brought to you by SUMA, the voice of Saskatchewan's urban municipalities. MuniCast discusses topics that are important to municipal leaders, like local governance, best practices, education, and so much more. Now, this season's conversations will be diving into how municipalities can get the most value from SUMA's offerings, from building meaningful connections through networking to strengthening capacity through education, advancing local priorities through advocacy, and gaining direct access to government officials. And today, we are discussing the Municipal Marvels Student Challenge that invites Saskatchewan students in grade 5s and up to become innovators and community problem solvers. Working in teams, students identify a real-world issue in their community, such as waste reduction, energy use, water conservation, transportation, or climate change, and research creative, sustainable solutions to those. With support from teachers and mentors, students develop project plans that connect science, social impact, and curriculum areas like science, social studies, arts, education, and practical and applied arts. This year's Municipal Marvels Challenge was presented at the 2026 SUMA Convention and Trade Show, where students presented their ideas to municipal leaders like yourself from across the province. This authentic showcase helps students build confidence, civic engagement, and future-ready skills while seeing their ideas valued by their community leaders. Now, we caught up with Sandy Baumengarter, the Chief Executive Officer of the Saskatchewan Science Centre, to discuss the Municipal Marvel program and how it has sparked creativity from across Saskatchewan in our youth regarding today's municipal challenges.
From the smallest villages to the largest cities, every day your urban municipality supports you. The water that travels from tap to sewer, the emergency services that keep you safe, the parks, libraries, and rinks that you enjoy, our cities, towns, villages, resort villages, and northern municipalities are urban hubs bringing people together. We are urban. Celebrate your municipality as part of the urban family.
Sandy, thank you so much for sitting down with us in beautiful Regina at the 121st Annual General Meeting of SUMA.
Wow.
I know, 121 years. It
time.
seems like it was just yesterday. We were 1 year old and I was there in 1906. I want to start by getting to know about the Municipal Marvels program and how it has come about. So in your background, can you give us a brief explanation about what Municipal Marvels is?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, the idea sparked from a film that we have at our IMAX theater at the Saskatchewan Science Centre. And the film was called, or is called, Cities of the Future, where students, the storyline in the film was students were identifying problems in their communities and developing solutions for real-world problems around sustainability. So we were inspired by this film, and working with our partners at APEGS, we decided to replicate the challenge. So last year was our first year. It was a test. We convinced SUMA to let us give it a go. The kids were amazing. They're so talented, so fun. And I'm told that the delegates at last year's conference loved it so much, wanted it back. we're continuing the contest, so brought a group of students from Harbour Landing Elementary School with us today who presented their project. They were really good, like good presenters. You never know with kids. These are elementary school kids. But it's a good opportunity for both the delegates and the students to learn about real world problems, and the kids to apply their learnings to it. So instead of, no offense to school systems and book learning, but this is experiential learning for the students, and the delegates love the ideas that are coming out of the students.
So how does someone get involved with the Municipal Marvels campaign, or the program, sorry? Is it just application? Is it a school applying to the Science Centre? How does that work?
Yeah, it's all pretty simple. We have a form on our website on sasksciencecentre.com, and teachers or parents can go on there, and you put it basically an expression of interest. This is our idea. Sometimes the students will apply. Whoever will put in their submission, and then we have an advisory group that goes through the submissions and then selects the students that go on to the next level. So on the next level is when they put their presentation together, they build their models. So the students today had a recycling model, and now they are actually showing their model here to the delegates, how it came about, their trials and tribulations, because sometimes it didn't work, but what they learned from that. So it's a two-part system, and anyone, like I say, with a group, the students that we had today were led by their father, one of the parents, and then we have mentors that work with the students. So to help them with their ideas, sometimes students will reach out to the community to get advice, and the mentors help them put their presentation together, give them some presentation skills, and then here we are today.
Looking at I know it's only been for 2 years now, last year and this year, looking at the 2 years of intake, does it give you hope that the kids are going to be the generation that is going to take over the mayor chairs and the councillor chairs? Because we always look at the next generation, and you're seeing these wonderful projects come about. So it must give you a little bit of hope that people are taking municipal experience seriously.
Yeah, it is actually, because we often dismiss the value of ideas coming from children. But they're very well thought out, and the kids are coming up with the ideas, and they're experimenting, and they're trying. So definitely they are our future, and often kids start to think about their careers at that age. So the students we had today were in grade 7, so grade 7, 8, before they get to high school, students are really starting to think about what it is that they want to pursue. Maybe they don't have the right idea. One of the kids today said, I'm not going to study STEM. So, but it's fun. Everyone has a role to play in society, and whether it's a mayor, a counselor, an engineer that's creating the project, and learning those collaboration skills is what we saw from the students today. And it does give me hope. I think that's why I do what I do, because I can go out and see kids getting inspired in really a lot of different ways. And this is just taking a spark from, say, a visit to the Science Centre or an experience in school and taking it to that real world level.
So the partnership between the Saskatchewan Science Centre and SUMA has been strong for the last 2 years. Looking at where you were and to where we are now, do you see more of an intake with more kids wanting to apply for this program? And how would you recommend this to a child who might be listening to this and saying, I have an idea, how do I get involved?
Yeah, I think that, this is just really helping us build momentum, not just with SUMA delegates that were here or that saw us last year, with SUMA, with the network that we're building of partners, and kids will now start to see their friends that have done the project. So it's kind of taking science fairs to a different level where kids can
I wouldn't be able to do what those kids did today on stage. I would have just been frozen solid going,
But I think that, by having them here, seeing the enthusiasm, not just from the SUMA team, but the delegates at the convention, we have the kids out showing their demonstration to community leaders. The leaders are coming and asking questions, right? Have you thought about this? And these are the questions that kids need to hear, because they're the questions that the municipal leaders are hearing, right? I have wastewater, I have recycling, I have all of these issues going on in my community. And if you can step back and think about it through the lens of the future, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Looking at the future, and I know we always should talk about the future, how do you expand on the program already, or do you find yourself looking at it still in those early years of trying to figure out what it actually is going to be, or is it where it is And now how do you grow it?
Yeah, I'm a dreamer. So
I love it. I love it.
I am a dreamer. And so, I think we have a formula. Our challenge often is just to get that right person, whether it's a teacher or a parent, to work with the students, or the students to say, hey, I want to do this. So it's getting awareness, and we'll be working on that. I envision us 10 years from now back here, maybe having this conversation and having representatives from every area of the province. Every region, every larger community. Maybe we have satellite competitions. I see this as a potential for students to really get engaged in real world problems in meaningful ways. So, yeah. So
I'm cautious of time here, and I want to make sure that I ask this question because you probably know this a lot better than I do. What haven't we talked about the Municipal Marvels program that you want to make sure mayors, councillors, reeves across Saskatchewan know about?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things. I think that, first of all, the mayors, councillors, and reeves across the province have to know that we have homegrown talent. And we're from Saskatchewan, right? The innovators are here, so let's give them opportunities to shine. But also, I think the things that, even beyond the delegates that were here, for, industry, government, for them to recognize that we need to invest in these kids now so that they develop the right skills, they have the right subjects in school, so that they can fuel that labor shortage that we're seeing today. Those are the future engineers, the mayors, the reeves, the creative folks that are going to solve those problems, and we need to give them those opportunities and take them seriously.
Before you go, how can people learn more about the program? Is there a website? We've already talked about the Saskatchewan Science Centre, but how can people learn more about the program and expand it and talk to their schools who might want to be interested in doing this? Yeah,
I think first is, get in contact with the Science Centre. Our website is sasksciencecentre.com. We also gave delegates the opportunity today to help shape the question for next year. So we put up a QR code with a few options. And before coming to talk to you, I'm told that we had more than 100 responses already. That was within less than the first hour after we put up that QR code.
Good for you, delegates.
Yeah, so I really appreciate, because they had questions. They want to be engaged. They want to hear more from the students. And so any of those delegates that left an email address, they're going to hear back from us. And that's a perfect way for them to promote the program, become mentors. One of the things I didn't really talk much about is each of the students do have a mentor assigned to them. And so
in the municipal sector?
Well, it could be, actually the students we saw today, the mentor that they had does work for the city of Regina. He mentored them in a way not for the area that he works in specifically, but he had knowledge of it, and he's an engineer. So he helped them with, questioning, maybe you should think about this, not doing it for them, because that's the one thing that we want to press upon our mentors. Don't do it for them, but encourage them through questioning, and help them with their presentation skills as well. So some practice.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to the next 10 years and seeing where this program grows, because when you see the youth get involved in the way that they are on stage and talking about issues that are critical to today's thinking, I can just imagine where our country and where our province is going to be in about 5 years with these people leading the way.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And that's why I love what I do. And it's so encouraging when I come here to SUMA. I know it's only been twice, but when I come here and see the enthusiasm from the delegates to learn more from the students, I think that, next year we'll bring the students to you. And you can talk to
I
them.
would love to chat with the students next year. Thank you so much for doing this. Greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. My pleasure.
Well, that's our stop for today. If you've been riding along with us for this entire episode, thanks for sticking around, whether you're listening to us on your commute, doing some work, walking the dog, or just letting the conversation run in the background. It means a lot that you spent this time with us today. Muni-Cast is brought to you by SUMA, the voice of urban Saskatchewan. So, wherever you're headed next, tonight, tomorrow, or sometime down the road, remember that curiosity is a pretty good compass along the way. Thank you again for tuning in for another episode of MuniCast. Until next time, take care of yourself, and we'll see you down on Main Street.
I grew up in a small